What's good, everybody? What's good? Happy 2024. What's good, bro?
What's good, good people?
Yo, it's the 94 Feet Podcast. I'm here with my brother, Keith.
What's good?
Yo, and we signed to a one-day contract. You know what I'm saying? A one-day contract on the 94 Feet Podcast, man. This is my guy, Chris.
What up, everybody?
What's good?
I'm happy to be here. Thank y'all for signing me to that one-day contract. I'm coming off the bench like Lou Williams. I'll be Lou Will for a day. What's up?
Listen, man, Lou
I know
Williams.
he retired, but
Lou Williams is highly regarded as one of the best six men that ever played the game, man.
Nice.
So, you know what I'm saying? You a step over Lou in my book.
Oh,
But,
let's go.
you know, Chris in the building with us, and who knows? Perhaps he might get another contract if things don't change around here.
I would love that. I'm out of this. I'm out of this. I ain't say nothing.
No, for real. Shout out to our brother Zeke, who is out of the building today. Hope to have him back next week. Happy New Year, everybody. How was the New Year, man? How was the New Year, my brothers?
I mean, we only 7 days in.
7 days in. Well, how did you bring the New Year in, man? How's it treating you so far?
New Year is a new year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
New goals. It's time to get started.
A lot of milestones this year to achieve.
We got 68 days left. No,
366 this year. We got 366. It's a leap year.
this is a leap year. That's what I was trying to figure out. What is a leap year now?
Yeah.
But yeah, we got 359
What is this?
days left.
That's it, man.
359 days to go.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do it, good people.
Yeah. 94 Feet Nation, thanks for sticking with us on our road to 100, y'all. Can you believe it? We've been doing this now this is our 4th year doing this. We'll celebrate episode 100 in several weeks, and we're going to do some stuff a little later in the year. Nothing big just yet, but keep it watch. Let's talk basketball. Go ahead.
But who'd ever thought, man?
I know, right?
We'll be doing this 4 years.
I mean, how many times have each of us quit? I mean, how many times have we quit? How many times have we called an audible? How many times have we said, you know what? You take the lead. You be the point guard. Listen, man, let the record show. I don't mind playing shooting guard. I don't need to be in charge. I'm just saying.
I like being the superstar.
Well,
I'm a superstar on the team.
Well, as long as you're the number 2 superstar, like LeBron is to MJ, right? As
Oh,
long
here
as
we
you're
go.
that superstar.
Yeah, in your books.
Let's get into it. Listen, y'all, it has been a crazy couple weeks in basketball. The NBA injury report is ridiculous right now, but we're going to go ahead and get started with the injury report. Go ahead, Keith.
All right, let's run down the injury report, starting with the Atlanta Hawks. DeAndre Hunter, right knee inflammation. He'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Can't really say much about that because, you know, the Hawks is on a kind of a slump right now. So, I mean, I guess some rest will help a brother out. The Celtics, Kristaps Porzingis, right eye irritation day to day. You know, that's lightweight for Porzingis right there. You know, the Nets, Ben Simmons out, back injury. Back to Ben, you know. Reevaluated in 2 weeks. The Bulls, Alex Caruso, neck injury day to day. And the neck ain't nothing to play with, man. The Cavs, Darius Garland, jaw injury, out. I wonder how long he's gonna be out.
I think January 11th he's
But he just got.
reevaluated. Okay.
Wasn't he just dealing with an eye injury where he had like a bad eye injury not too long ago?
Give me the line.
Wasn't that last year?
Was that last year?
Yeah,
Towards the
he
end of
got
the
popped
year?
in the eye, and he was out sometime last year.
Man, let me get some significant injuries. Evan Mobley, knee surgery on his left knee, will be reevaluated in 6 to 8 weeks.
And that's a hopeful. That's a hopeful, right? An upper
6 to 8 weeks is like minimum.
and that's a knee surgery, bro.
Yeah.
Like that is a knee surgery, not a wrist, not even a hand or finger. We're talking about your knee, the part of your body that you probably use most for the NBA.
Yep.
He'll be I mean, I guess that trade ain't gonna go through no time soon. Then
Well, that's that young nucleus the Cavs have with Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. Both of them are out,
but
they still maintain it.
I heard they had on the market.
Who they made?
Garrett. I mean, not Garrett. What's the big man?
Garrett. Yeah.
Jared Jack.
Jared Jack.
Jared Jack.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Jack.
Okay.
Jared Jackson.
not Jared Jack.
He was,
Jared
I heard
Jack
he was on the
Wait,
trade block.
Jaren Jackson?
Jared Jackson was on.
Really?
He was on the trade block,
Oh.
but I'm pretty sure they're gonna take that off the offer off the table.
Well, because you got to remember, man, and not to get too off topic,
Yeah.
Cleveland. No, you're good. No, that's what we do here.
All right.
The first 20 minutes, we never pay attention. Usually, we start the show arguing, talking about sneakers or something. But it's a new year. We're trying to do some. You know, when you think about the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, they are fully aware that my man's PG, what's his name? Our point guard, Donovan Mitchell. They are very much aware that he is gone after this season.
No doubt.
They are very much aware of that. So they have to do whatever they can to either build around our big or
Yeah.
find some assets to help build for the future. Because once Donovan Mitchell leaves, Cleveland will experience those post LeBron years.
I'm
again.
telling you, they are better off getting a trade for him
That's what
before it's too late.
before he leaves.
And he
they
leaves.
get nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Go ahead.
also got the Mavs with Luka questionable with an ankle injury is listed as day to day. The Mavs are without 6 other players due to injuries.
Think about that. That's half their roster. That's
You
half
only
their
get-
roster.
You get 14,
You
15.
get- I think it's 12 to 14. I don't know how many of those are active,
Yeah.
but if you take 7 players away from the Mavericks, man, they might as well forfeit that game.
They might be on the brinks of tanking this season with that type of stuff going on.
Keep up.
The Warriors are without Chris Paul, per usual. Jonathan Kuminga and Gary Payton III, per usual.
Chris Paul, it just got announced right before we came in. He's going to be out about 6 to 8 weeks himself.
Well, what?
He just had a surgery. He just had a major surgery on it was either his hand, his wrist, or his arm. And he is going to be out a significant amount of time. And he has a fracture in his left hand, so he has surgery. So he is going to be out for, I believe they said, 6 to 8 weeks as well. So Chris Paul, man. But the Warriors, we'll talk about it later. We don't.
It's tank time.
Mm.
It's tank time for quite a few teams,
Mhm.
to be honest. The Rockets, Dylan Brooks, torso injury.
How do you get that in basketball? I don't want to judge, but how do you get a torso injury in basketball?
Going up for a rebound?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
Well, it's
like-
Dylan Brooks, so I don't know.
I
what
don't know
this cat
what he
does.
did. He probably tried to take a foul on somebody.
Exactly.
Dylan Dylan. Shout out to Dylan Brooks, man.
No shout outs here.
Well, they didn't need him last night.
Clearly. Clearly.
The Lakers are without Anthony Davis, per usual. D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and Gabe Vincent, who hasn't played all season. I mean,
He sips tea.
The Memphis Grizzlies are Ja Morant is questionable for tonight's game, while Memphis has 5 other players out as well. So they are 6 down.
Yep.
Tough.
Zion Williams is day to day. Joel Embiid is day to day. Robert Covington is day to day. Tobias Harris is day to day. Eric Gordon is day to day. Boyo is day to day. Kevin Durant is day to day. And DeAndre Ayton is day to day.
Is there anybody playing in the NBA?
That's what I'm saying.
Does anybody want to show up? Does anybody want to?
Do they get PTO?
Well, they don't get PTO, but if they are, what I love about the new NBA rule is if you don't play a certain amount of games, injury or not, you're not eligible for bonuses. You're not eligible for those in-season awards. So for all these players that are out and listed as day-to-day, if it's a real injury, be injured, right? Sit down, get healthy, get well. But if you're talking about, I'm just not playing because I don't want to play, like, come on, man. This list, and I'm going to tell you, when I was compiling this injury report, shout out to Zeke, who normally does this, it's a pain in the butt because literally every team had 5 to 6 players. By the time I got down to the Memphis Grizzlies, I said, you know what? Other notable names. Because we would have been 20 minutes on a freaking injury report. The NBA, as much money as they make, and I know we don't like to use the word bums, NBA got a lot of bums, bro. Because I look at the names like, who? What's your favorite line? Who? Andre, who? Like, bruh.
I didn't even know Boyo even get minutes.
Boyo. In fact, Shaq has been making an argument that he's just as good as Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Shaq has been making an argument that
I
he's
saw
just as
that,
good.
and I said that. They just saying he's in the wrong situation.
He's in the wrong situation, and he doesn't have the hype.
Yep.
He doesn't have the hype.
He
And for
doesn't
those
have-
of
he
you
has-
all that don't know, we're talking about Manute Bowes, the late Manute Bowes' son.
Yes.
So, Man, well, let's dive into.
Because I watched the highlights of him, and
Mhm,
their game is very similar.
mhm.
And people keep saying I've never seen a 7-footer do what Nama is doing. I watched some of Boya things after I seen Shaq's interview, and he's doing the exact same things.
Yeah,
He was actually a little bit more athletic, if you ask me, when it came down to his abilities. He just was on some rough teams and in the wrong place, wrong time.
yeah,
Is how I put it.
yeah.
That really does it. When you're in a bad situation, or not, I don't even know if I want to say bad situation. When you're in a situation that does not help you grow,
Yeah.
you're not going to shine. People are not going to really see how you are and see what you can do. So once you hit that area, you get on that team that, may run, you may be a runner, that running team, and you can really show what you have. That's when people start seeing. So yeah, I agree with that. Bo, I think he is he's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
When Nama got the hype though.
he got the hype, but he also got the
He's
talent.
nice with it too.
He got the talent, man.
Yeah.
He made Giannis look like a baby.
Okay, listen.
No. Save it
Listen.
for Bucks talk. Let's call it what it is. He had several highlights on Giannis.
All right.
Made him look like a baby, postered him, and crossed him twice. You got to give him credit. It happened. It happened. We watched it. We seen it. Giannis even sung the man's praises. But let's save that for Bucks talk.
It's shoot around time.
I can't wait for Bucks talk. Ooh.
Shoot around. Draymond Green has returned from suspension. Oh boy. Do we think Draymond has served enough time, or is the NBA playing around early with his return? Now, for everyone that doesn't know, Draymond has had terrible behavior. He's done a lot of crazy stuff, but I think what finally got him suspended was him choking out. The chokeout didn't get him suspended.
Yusuf Nurkic.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The issues that he had with that with that player.
True.
So he served 12 games all in all, supposedly went to therapy, got some counseling. What is next for Draymond Green, and does the time fit the crime?
Trade plus trade equals trade. Give him a trade. Got a trade.
You know what? I started thinking about this, and I have to agree. Excuse me, let me clear my throat. I have to agree. I think they brought him back early so that he could play a little bit. Teams can see him. They already know what he brings. And then the Warriors can package a deal. They can get him up out of here. I think it's done for him. I think he's done with the Warriors. I think they're trying to get rid of him. They're trying to get what they can and, let him play a little bit, get back in the flow, and then let's ship him up out of here at the trade deadline, before the trade deadline, whatever.
I agree.
I disagree, because the Golden State Warriors have shown that they are very loyal to Draymond Green. They are very loyal. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Steve Kerr, very loyal to Draymond Green. I think, however, if you look at a timeline of Draymond's actions, starting with Jordan Poole, right, and it keeps going, you dating back to LeBron when he kicked him in the midsection, but now he's a Bron midsection lover. But whatever happens there happens. Draymond Green is the dog that you want on your team. While his actions sometimes are over the top, if the Warriors trade Draymond, they don't have a dog. Right? The Warriors are almost soft without Draymond Green. So I don't know that the Golden State Warriors plan on trading Draymond. But what I will say, a 12-game suspension for assault, right? For assault of multiple players. And Ja Morant got 25 for carrying a gun, in which he probably had the right to do. Don't get me wrong. I still think it was a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
His punishment certainly fit the crime. But to bring a person back 12 games and say you're resurrected, you're healed, we believe you now, we know that you're a changed man, it takes life cycles of therapy sometimes for people to change, right? It takes life cycles for you to understand. Other than him missing a paycheck, we're going to really have to watch a couple of these games to see if it's a true Draymond.
But that's where I go to the fact of what Chris said. Like, they're going to trade him. They only brought him back so they can get him off the books and get that money back. They already know his actions should be automatic done for the season because he's done it for so long. I mean, Draymond got a history, boy. That brother got a history of putting his hands on people like no other. And I think the Warriors are done with him.
Mhm.
I think the Warriors dynasty is done with. I think the Warriors have realized it is time to move on and bring in something else new. Draymond and Wiggins are on their way out the door. And Wiggins' problem is he hasn't psychologically got over whatever that event that happened off the court
With his wife?
personally.
Yeah.
Whatever had happened in that situation, he ain't been the same since. So I got a feeling that Wiggins is on his way out and Draymond is on his way out and Clay won't return next year. And they're going to build some more players in to play around Steph in that young core that they got.
So if Draymond's behavior doesn't change, what happens next? We're not just talking to Warriors, NBA. I'm of the opinion that the NBA, although they only gave him a pat on the hand with this 12 game, Draymond's behavior is on ban level. Ban. Like, if this behavior continues and he doesn't approve, I can see the NBA showing him the door.
But that's why the Warriors are the only team that could take that gamble to let him play a few games and prove itself so that they can bring him back, so that they can trade him. Because other than that, what do you need him for?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's not going to make that big of a difference where they're going to win that many more games.
Yeah.
The Warriors suck today, they suck tomorrow, and they're going to suck next week. The Warriors are – that's how they do LeBron, so that's right. So
get off my second favorite team. You don't have to take it there.
But I'm just saying now Steph is feeling the wrath of playing with a bunch of scrubs or a bunch of players who are just role players, and you don't have that core like they had. They're wearing Steph out. Steph looked exhausted at the end of games. It is time, to bring in some younger, more active players. Draymond is older too. So it's time for like the Kumingas and the little young guard they got. I can't think of his name at the moment. Left-handed.
Yeah.
He's pretty decent too.
So with that said, though, there's also reports coming out, since we're talking Warriors, that a lot of them are upset with Steve Kerr with the minutes. They're upset with the minutes that they're getting. So, we talked about Golden State dynasty being over. When do they say, okay, Steve, it worked while it worked, but now it's time for you to move on? So is Steve Kerr the problem in Golden State, or is it talent? Is Steve Kerr the problem? I mean, have you all heard the rumors, the reports about the players are being upset? Not as bad as the Lakers, like the Laker problems, which we'll get to. Yeah. Their agents are calling the front office like, what the heck is Darvin Ham doing? Which we'll get into in a little bit. But is Steve Kerr, is it time for him and the Golden State Warriors to go their separate ways? Go ahead, Chris.
I think so. All right, really quickly, I don't want to go too far back, but Dre, you just mentioned every team needs a dog. Yeah, to all my Pitt fans, I love you. I love Pitts, but when it starts to get Pitt level and, you can't control the Pitt, what do? I'm not saying in this situation, you got to you might have to get rid of Draymond. I think band level, next, if he gets traded or if he comes back and does whatever again, he'll get a year, I think, and they'll stick with that year. And then after that, they'll reevaluate some things, I think, and then the ban comes. Now, moving over to Steve Kerr, I think Steve Kerr, I don't know, does he really coach? I think that was some of the things, like he doesn't coach, he sits back. He has a lot of great things to say after the games. I think it's time for something new, fresh blood.
He has that, he thinks he's Phil Jackson mentality, where he can sit there long enough and it'll correct itself. But he doesn't have that ability now that he doesn't have the talent that he had for the last 6-7 years. So now,
healthy KD,
you know what I'm saying?
Clay, healthy Draymond,
young Clay, young Dre, young Steph. You know what I'm saying? Younger,
KD.
you know what I'm saying? Young KD, because KD was there 4 years ago.
4 years.
4 years ago is a big difference in a career.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think about Steve Kerr, man, if you even look at sometimes arrogance is a downfall of a person, right? We grew up in church and we're taught pride brings a man down low. I think Steve Kerr has spent too much time on the sidelines being the popular coach or the coach with swag, right? Because you saw Andre Iguodala coaching on the sidelines, right? You saw Steph in his player's ear. So as long as Steph Curry is there, Steve Kerr is untouchable. I personally believe that. I don't know that I don't want to say that Steve Kerr has lost the locker room, because if Steve Kerr was a black coach, let's take it there, and we're not a racist podcast. We love everybody. But if Steve Kerr, I'm not even say a black coach, if Steve Kerr was any other coach and that Jordan Poole footage would have leaked, what have they said? He lost the locker room. We're firing the coach because the coach let that happen. Steve Kerr took no control in that. None. No ownership in that.
If that was Adrian Griffin, what would happen?
Oh, he'd been out of there.
Quickly.
He'd been out of there.
How fast would he have been out of there?
Probably an hour after it leaked. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Half an hour.
That's what I'm saying.
If that was Adrian Griffin, how fast would Adrian Griffin have been out of that organization?
That's what I'm saying.
Quick.
And so Steve Kerr does not take ownership of some of the actions of his players, and because we would have been all over Griff. He lost the locker room. Yeah. Griffin got to go. Like, Griff fought Terry Stotts. So they say. Luckily, there's no footage out there. Luckily, there's no footage. But the rumor mill say him and Terry Stott got into it because Terry Stott called over the players. The coach called for a huddle, but Terry Stott stayed back to talk to some of the veteran players, and Griffin felt disrespected that you're not respecting me as a head coach. So they got into some words, and that's what caused the breakup. Now, if had that been physical, Griffin would have been out. So I say that to say, I think in Golden State Warrior land, the issues with Draymond, the reason that Golden State has continually to deal with them is because Draymond has a protector known as Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr protects Draymond. He protects his players. And I believe in the Golden State Warriors landscape, Steve Kerr is untouchable.
I hear you. I hear you, Dre. I'm just wondering. So you're saying as long as Draymond is around, Steve Kerr is good to go. I'm just kind of wondering because I don't know. Steve Nash got his walking papers with Brooklyn.
He should have never had it though.
Yeah,
he should have never had it.
Okay.
But also, Steve Nash didn't have the resume that Kerr got behind him to back him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Those four championships back you up a long ways compared to Steve Nash coming in and he got nothing.
But I can bring up a name, Mark Jackson. That's all I'm gonna say.
So Mark Jackson pissed off the wrong people, man. Mark Jackson, if he goes back and he repents to Dr. Jerry West and he admits that he was wrong for putting him out of practice, and taking that hard tone with Dr. Jerry West, all will be forgiven. See, in the landscape of Hollywood, just like Milwaukee a little bit, just like kind of nonprofit tone. We got insurance here, man. We got employee insurance. This desk so close to my elbow, it might be broken.
Sabotage. What's up, bro?
Man.
Injury report for the 94 Feet podcast.
Andre Douglas
with a torn rotator in his elbow.
It just keeps on going.
But Mark Jackson, in my opinion, I think we give him too much credit for being a good coach. And we give him way too much credit.
I ain't mean to bring him up.
Mark Jackson. We give him way too much credit. Yes, he helped Golden State, but so did Phil Collins help the Bulls. But Doug Collins. Phil Collins, one of the greatest singers of all time, so I confuse that. Phil Jackson is the one that delivered the rings, right? Rudy Tomjanovich had the Lakers. Okay, Byron Scott had the Lakers and got the death stare from Kobe and was gone the next day. Phil Jackson brought the rings. So coaching matters. Jordan didn't deliver those rings until Phil Jackson showed him how to master the triangle offense. Coaching matters, right? Steve Kerr, Klay Thompson didn't learn how to play off the ball until Steve Kerr taught them that. So let's not act like Steve Kerr didn't bring a level of coaching to the Golden State Warriors to help them win those 4 titles. Now, they were fouled for going out and getting KD after KD was fouled for going there.
But didn't they have a winning record before the Steve Kerr came in there?
They had a playoff record. They had 44 and 38 and 46 and something. I'm paraphrasing, but they weren't considered dangerous until Steve Kerr came, and they continued to build their team to the draft.
That's real.
So
That's what you feel?
I said what I said.
You said what you
I
said.
said what I said. Moving on. Woo! Brace yourself, America.
Don't even do it. Don't be that guy today.
The Los Angeles Lakers have lost 10 games and only won 4 since the in-season tournament. Are the Los Angeles Lakers defenders or pretenders? Reports also indicate that Darvin Ham is at odds with his players.
Okay.
And agents are calling for agents are calling the office. What the heck is he doing? My clients are not happy. This is a two-part. Hold up.
We're gonna let our guest
One
go
second.
on this one.
This is a two-part Lakers question. What do we make of the Los Angeles Lakers? Because once they hung that banner, it's like the Lakers quit. And I'm gonna go ahead. No, this is your team.
Let's let our guest go.
Go ahead,
first.
Chris.
Look,
Go ahead, Chris.
all
Go ahead.
I want to say about the Lakers is, yeah, that the in-season tournament championship, okay, cool. Yeah, ever since then, I don't know what happened. They just, I don't know, the bottom dropped out, and it just seems like that was their championship. LeBron is still going hard doing this thing, but I don't know. They're missing AD again. He's hurt. AD gets hurt a lot. I know
That was their championship.
Hachimura is hurt. Like a lot of their players are hurt. Hachimura, he's hurt. I don't know. I don't see much out of the Lakers. They don't scare anyone. They don't have a dog. I don't think. I don't know. AD and LeBron together. I don't know how much longer we can talk about that. You know, Darvin Ham. If Darvin Ham would have waited 1 year, he could have been the Bucks coach. 1 or 2 years, he could have been the Bucks next coach. I saw what was happening. He left, did his thing over there. He's doing this thing with the Lakers, but I don't know. If he lost the locker room in LA, that's just tough for me to imagine. I mean, I know it's out there, but he just seems to me like he's a hard nose. He just wants the best for his players. He gets at you if you're not, giving it your all. If they don't like that, then okay, let's package a deal for some of these, some of these cats and get them up out of here. I don't know. That's how I feel.
The Lakers don't have a lot of assets, though. The Lakers don't have a lot of assets. The Los Angeles Lakers have traded their whole future. They've traded the whole future. They have nothing. There's nothing attractive to the Lakers, not even Anthony Davis, not even LeBron James. Because the only thing that makes LeBron attractive is the fact that you might get Bronny James. So LeBron can still contribute to a team. Yes, but there are not people lining up to trade for Anthony Davis because he's too inconsistent.
Facts.
You've said that.
I have to.
You blame Anthony Davis more than you blame LeBron.
Okay, first off, since you want to go there, let's get on these Lakers. First off, they are pretenders. I'm gonna go there.
Okay.
The Lakers.
Wait. On record, Kesey said what?
The Lakers are pretenders.
What?
LeBron and AD have been pretty consistent this year. They have not missed a lot of games this year. So you cannot blame them this year, and I'm not going to blame them this year.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, man.
They
Light him up, man.
They got
Light him up.
They got a lot of players. AD and LeBron have to have shooters, right, in order to be successful. They got a lot of players who are inconsistent shooters. That is where their woes come in. So now you got he playing 28 minutes, but he only scored 2 points. I'm sitting on the bench, and I can't get those minutes. Some of the minutes to try to bring us a couple more buckets here and there. So then that's where Darvin Ham is having his issues with his rotations because he's giving players who ain't producing too many minutes.
So where was the point where this happened? Because they won that in-season title, and then
They've been doing it all season. They just got lucky for a few games.
Okay, it was luck.
They got lucky.
Oh,
right.
they were 9-0. They didn't lose one game in in-season tournament.
I just said they got, but that's LeBron's wheelhouse. Tournaments, that's his wheelhouse. That's where he's playoffs. That's where he is the most dominant. When it comes down to big games, he's dominant. But if he don't have a supporting cast, and it just so happens Cam Reddish had a good tournament. Rui had a decent tournament, one game. So each player had a decent game in the tournament. So that's what helped them with LeBron's thing. AD played really well too, though. I can't lie. But he hasn't been injured as much as he normally is. The Lakers, and I watched the Gil Arena, and he said it perfect. LeBron need to get a garbage bag, take it in the locker room, and put all those trash players in that bag and take them out.
So LeBron gets a pass, is what you're saying.
LeBron hasn't changed. He hasn't changed in 21 years, as you notice. If you don't put the right stuff around him, they're not going to succeed. It's just plain and simple.
He did make a comment to say his son could play for the Lakers now.
They probably could. Right now, he probably could with the way they play. You got, what's the dude name?
Hashimura?
No, the other dude with the dark skin dude with the dreads.
Taurean Prince.
Taurean Prince taking 11 threes a game.
Whoa.
How in the HE double hockey stick is Taurean Prince taking 11 threes? Do you see why some players might be getting upset if Taurean Prince is taking 11 threes, but he's averaging like 4 points a game?
What's Austin Reeves doing? Like, wasn't he a man? He was just
Austin Reeves.
He's doing this thing. Is he keeping things together?
It's Darvin Ham's fault because he put him on the bench. Tried to make him like they're something to come off the bench.
They're 6-man.
Yeah. You paid him all that money to come off the bench? No. You paid him to be in that starting lineup with LeBron and AD. They fit together. Those three work together.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to figure out those other two that go along with them.
Yeah.
And D'Angelo Russell is not consistent.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's the most untradeable player in the NBA right now, in my opinion, with star status, right? He's the most untradeable player in the NBA besides maybe Draymond and James Harden. But the Los Angeles Lakers,
But if you can find a trade for James, you can find a trade for Russell.
I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, the Lakers were only after winning the in-season tournament. They celebrated like it was a title.
Yeah, they did.
They brought in champagne.
Yeah.
They raised the banner.
Who's the first one?
I get it. I was okay with it until they went lost 10 games after that to some bums, to some scrubs. The Los Angeles Lakers, not only are they pretenders, they are barely a play-in team. There is no one right now of the top 6 in the Western Conference that I have the Lakers beating in a 7-game series. They can't beat Minnesota in a 7-game series.
They will.
Minnesota's too quick.
No.
They're too fast.
Yeah.
Not with those two bigs.
Minnesota's too
They're
quick.
not fast.
I said what I said.
Okay. The Oklahoma City Thunder
They'll
would
beat them.
dog the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Nuggets have already done it. It's a repeat of last year. The Clippers, hit or miss. That might be the best matchup for the Lakers. The Kings have already shown that they can own the Lakers. And Dallas might be hit or miss. Right now, the Lakers have fallen out of play-in tournament. We're getting ready to hit the half-season mark. And the Lakers have to compete to try to even get in play-in now. Because if you're losing games consistently to teams you should beat, what is that going to happen when you start playing contending teams? The Bucks, the Nuggets, right? The Suns, the Clippers. So right now, the Los Angeles Lakers, to me, they let that team just do whatever they wanted to do. They celebrated way too early, and now they're feeling the faults of this. And so the Los Angeles Lakers, not only are they pretenders, they better step up so they can become a playoff team.
But let's get this straight though before you count them all the way out.
I didn't count them all the way out.
I'm just saying, before you count them all the way out, they didn't lose to some scrubs. They lost to a Memphis Grizzlies with a hot Ja Morant.
2-25, but go ahead. They lost. It's facts.
But since Ja came back, they ain't been on that losing streak.
He's one player. But go ahead.
John Moran is a lot, dude. To deal
I
with.
get it.
They lost to the Heat. They're not horrible.
Jimmy Butler didn't play.
Mm.
Next.
They lost to the Pelicans.
Bums.
No, the Pelicans are not bums.
Okay.
What are they standings right now?
They're 6. Zion Williams has been in and out. But okay. I don't mind that one.
They lost to the T-Wolves.
Okay. But you said they can beat them.
They only lost by 2.
A loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss.
Okay.
They beat the Hornets before that team they're supposed to beat.
Yep.
Oh,
They lost to the Celtics the game before that.
Yep.
The team they're supposed to lose to.
Christmas. Yep.
They beat the Thunder.
Okay.
They lost to the T-Wolves.
Okay.
yeah.
Twice now.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's
Just to say they ain't lost to some real live people they shouldn't be losing to. And they're not getting blown out. They just ain't closing out games.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hit shots.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it boils down to. It's time. That trade deadline is too close. It's time for people to start making moves.
But what does go ahead, Chris?
No, I was just gonna say, Dre, didn't you say that they have no trade assets
None.
at all?
None.
So what do they do? Like
None.
if they don't start, I can't see. I don't know if I can see LeBron. I mean, it's happened before, but not making the playoffs, just looking this bad. The whole team just being down and out.
They looked at that bad last year, remember?
Didn't they make the playoffs though? Didn't they?
Because they made a late season run after they had the trade before the trade deadline.
See. Then okay. But with no trade assets, that might not happen this year.
It's not going to.
You know?
It's not going to. The Lakers don't have a first round draft pick until what? What was it? Like 2029 or something like that because they traded for Russell Westbrook or some other stupid stuff.
Oh,
You know, the Lakers don't have a first round draft pick for years, I don't believe. Someone have to fact check me. See if you watching. Drop in the chat when the Lakers' next first round draft pick is. But let me tell you something.
2029.
Is that it?
No, 2027.
Bruh. That's 4 years away.
that's still ways.
That's 4 years away. And LeBron, you're not trading him. Let's be for real. And Anthony Davis, you're not trading him. D'Angelo Russell is not a trade asset.
Sure, he's tradable, though.
He's not an asset, though. No one's calling the Lakers about D'Angelo Russell. Okay, the Lakers are calling teams about D'Angelo Russell. Hey, do you want Russell? Do you want Russell? Russell makes $18 million and puts up, what is it with people with the last name Russell and putting up bricks? Because that is what D'Angelo Russell does. He puts up bricks.
He was solid for the start of the season. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
He has always been inconsistent. Even when playing with Minnesota, he has always put up bricks.
But that's why they brought in Gabe Vincent, and he hasn't even played.
That's why the Lakers got rid of him the first time to attract LeBron because he was putting up bricks. And he came back to the Lakers, and now he's putting up more bricks. If you look at his shooting percentage, it is god awful. The Los Angeles Lakers have no trade assets.
They do.
Who?
Reeves. He's
How?
valuable. Very valuable.
Austin Reeves.
He's valuable.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say, but why would you trade him? Because he could be like the future. I mean, I know.
He's a nice role
You know,
starter. He's
he
a nice
is.
role starter.
What do you
He's
think? they
not
can
a
get for him?
franchise
No, he's not.
tag.
No,
No.
not at all. What do you think they can get for him? And, I mean, I
You
know
can get something decent
Yeah.
for Reeves.
that can get you.
If you put
going.
Reeves and Russell in a deal, you can get a nice deal.
Okay,
Or you put Max Christie
Christie,
and
young guy.
Russell in a deal because he's young
Yeah,
and he got a lot of potential.
yeah.
So the Lakers have a couple trade options. It's just a point of which direction do you want to go as LA?
Max Christie, no relation, reminds me of Doug Christie for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just that's just off the record. I don't know why I
Is he
said it.
related
But,
to him?
no, I think I looked it up and it said that it's no relation. But yeah, he kind of reminds me of that bigger guard, 6'5", and just just does a few things here and there.
So let me ask you this. What do we make of players being at odds with Darvin Ham and agents calling the front office allegedly to complain about Darvin Ham? Is that overstepping the line? Is that going too far, or is Darvin Ham screwing up the Lakers franchise that much? Because I make no mistakes about it. Darvin Ham is no Steve Kerr.
That's true.
Darvin Ham is no Greg Popovich. And one call from LeBron. What did David Gruber say? One call, that's all. One call from LeBron. The Darvin Ham experience is over. And don't let these be clutch sports players. I don't know if I don't know who the agent are, but don't let these be Team LeBron players calling the front office. What do we make of players now basically tattletaling and going above the coach's head, going to the front office? What do you make of that?
That's been going on for a while. This ain't that first rodeo.
Is Darvin wrong here? Do the Lakers need to make a coaching change? Is he part of the problem? Is he part of the problem when the Lakers are 4-10 or 4-14 over the last couple weeks? Is he part of the problem? Has he lost the locker room? Has he lost the ability to lead the Lakers?
All of these role players that can't shoot is the problem. Taurean Prince, every time I think about it, and I seen that Taurean Prince took 11 threes in a game,
That's tough.
I couldn't believe it.
That's tough. Yeah.
I can get he's a 3-and-D guy, but 11? That's tough to come back for it, and you only score 2 points that game.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
I would have to say that. How far are we from that in season tournament? How far are we from that?
In-season tournament ended around December 9th and 11th. So we're about a month out.
About a month. It was all good a week ago. You know what I'm saying? It was all good when they were winning and doing that. I think the injury bug kind of got to them a little bit. Darvin Ham got them into the playoffs last year. They won the in-season tournament this year. And now, a few weeks down the line, everyone's now hurt, calling their agents to call, I'm not getting my playing time, whatever. Injuries play a part, but I don't think you can turn your back on Darvin Ham yet. I think you got to give him some more time, at least to the end of the season. Then we'll see what happens the rest of the way from this point. And then after that, we can decide what they need to do. They already made their bed, like you said earlier, Dre. They made their bed with some of the trades that they had. They have nothing to give anymore. All these people that they brought in that are non-shooters, that's them. That was their call. So I think you stick with Darvin Ham. I think he's a good coach from what I've seen when he was here with the Bucks, assistant coach and stuff like that. But, maybe it is him, but I think you need to give him some more time.
Yeah, I don't like that players, and I've always said this on this podcast for the past 4 years. Players get an escape, coaches get a pat on their hand, and they're out the door, right? They're always held to a higher standard, and I get it. Darvin Ham, for me, you can't overlook that he took a play-in tournament Lakers to the conference finals. They got swept, right? He took a hobbled Lakers to the in-season tournament to win the championship. It's a championship. Whether we like it or not, it's a championship, right? He took them there. If you don't like your minutes, then ask to go somewhere else. There's a reason why Darvin Ham is trying things out. Well, what I will say, Darvin, 4-14 since the play-in tournament is not okay. And you better fix it.
Fast.
You better fix it.
You got about 2 weeks.
Because LeBron
On a
James
winning streak or
has a year or two maybe left to play. And if he goes down on this tanking or sinking Lakers ship, Darvin's going to go down. Because LeBron James, unless he's injured, LeBron doesn't have losing seasons. He doesn't have losing seasons. He has championship seasons. He has finals appearances. He has conference finals appearances. And you're losing games, and players are starting to complain about minutes that they can't talk to you. That is the first sign of a lost locker room. When your agents are calling.
but you know why that is?
I don't.
Darvin Ham don't play no games, y'all.
No, he doesn't.
He is like the Tasmanian devil. He will tear stuff off the walls. I'm just going to say it like that. And I can feel that you can be intimidated by a coach who has a dominant personality like Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't feel comfortable going to ask for some minutes because you don't know what outcome going to be.
Yeah.
Because Darvin Ham ain't going to take no mess.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Darvin Ham got to do something about this rotation.
Yeah, it's
It's
bad.
off.
It's bad.
It's horrible.
It's bad. It's almost like watching a G League team.
Yeah.
The Lakers are horrible to watch, especially if LeBron is not playing.
Right.
The Lakers are horrible to watch. And you know, Lakers have old money, right? They have old fans. The old Laker money ain't going to stand for that.
Mm-mm.
Jenny Buss has already made a statement that they stand behind Darvin Ham, that she's standing behind him. But we've also heard Mike Dunleavy say Jordan Poole's a part of this team, and he was out the door, 2 days later? So it's good for now, but Darvin better change, and he better change it quickly. Trade rumors are going crazy right now. One of the biggest names on the market is Pascal Siakam. The two teams that are most interested are the Detroit Pistons and the Indiana Pacers. What is his trade value and which team needs him most? Who would you like to see him traded to? First of all, I admit, I didn't know his value was that high. I did not know Siakam. People were breaking the bank for Pascal Siakam. What is his trade value?
You know why he's so high? He's 6'10". He can handle the ball.
Yeah.
He's an elite defender. And if you really need him to, he can score.
True.
What's his season stats, man? Pull up his season stats. Chris, what you think, man, about Siakam and his value and which team?
You know what? I like Siakam. I think that the Golden State Warriors, if they get him to go with Steph, to go with Clay, I think you can. I mean, I would try to get. I'm gonna stay on it. I would try to get Draymond up out of here for Siakam. Draymond maybe, and what we say earlier, Wiggins. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if that can happen, but should we try that? But I would like to see him with the Warriors.
Yeah,
I would like him to see him with Steph.
Yeah,
and Clay.
So he wasn't linked to the Warriors yet, but he could be. That's a good analogy. When I looked it up, right now the Kings were the number one team, but they dropped out because they said Toronto wants too much. I'm for him. So now it's the Pacers and the Pistons. So for me, no one wants to go to the Pistons right now.
No.
If you send that man to Detroit, you would kill his career.
Who?
Siakam. You would kill his career.
If you send him where?
To Detroit.
Yeah, he's done.
You
that means he's on his way out the door.
Yeah, he retired.
Could you see what happened to what you call it when he went there?
Who's that?
Blake.
Oh man.
Oh my
man.
God. Good call.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Siakam was.
Blake still had a couple years left in him, but he went to Detroit and wrote him off.
Yeah.
That's
it.
it.
Wrote him off.
That's it. So if you want to kill the man's career, then you send him to Detroit. The Detroit Pistons are 3-32.
Yeah.
Right. 3-32, already eliminated from playoff contention.
Wow.
Already. Like NBA never does it that early. They're already eliminated from playoff
Are they?
contention.
Tough time.
They're not, but they're at 0.86, bro. Come on.
So
They're at
Pascal
0.86.
is averaging 22, 6, and 5.
Yeah.
Them some decent numbers.
Yeah.
I like him with the with the Indiana Pacers. I'm gonna tell you right now, I said at the beginning of the season, and I'm eating my words now. I said ain't nobody worried about the Indiana Pacers. If you add Siakam to the Pacers are a problem.
That would be heavy. Yeah.
The Pacers are already a problem. I can admit to it now. Halliburton is a problem. He's a pest, but he's a problem.
But who are you giving up for Pascal?
If I'm the Pacers, when you look at right now that you are having a good run, that you are beating one of the favorites to go to the NBA Finals, and you're not just beating them, you're beating them in a dynamic fashion.
Yeah.
You build now and you give up some of those future assets.
Gotcha.
Right. So if I'm the Pacers, I would look at some draft picks. I would look at some of those role players that are not like super valuable to your team.
Mm-hmm.
But adding Siakam to Indiana, I believe would make them a favorite in the Eastern Conference.
But you got to give up something to get him, because he ain't gonna
I
just
said that.
But you got to give up something, not give up a little something. You got to give up something.
Yeah.
So who are you going to give up if you the Pacers? Is the question.
You giving up Buddy Hield?
You got to.
Which they've been trying to give him up for months.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
But if you're Toronto, are you going to take Buddy?
I would. If Siakam wants out, I absolutely would.
I'm going to take Buddy.
Buddy's a shooter.
Yeah, he is.
And Toronto needs help scoring.
Yeah, he shoots.
They need a shooter.
He
I
shoots.
would.
31.
But he
years
doesn't
old.
shoot a high efficiency.
Here's the thing. If you're going to lose Siakam anyway,
Mhm.
you have to try to get something before you get nothing, right? You have to try to get something. And so if you think about who the Pacers trade assets are, obviously it's not Halliburton, right? He is their superstar. He is the future. He is their Reggie Miller of the 90s. He is their guy. And in order to keep him happy and to keep him not considering other teams, you have to look at bringing a piece in. So you can look at another name that's on the table, and people may not like it, but if I'm the Pacers, I'm adding Miles Turner. Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, give me Siakam and give me a future draft pick, and we call it even.
Oh,
And we call it even. Because who would you rather have playing next to Halliburton, Miles Turner or Siakam? I'm taking Siakam.
I'm taking Miles Turner.
Chris, what's your commentary? What you got?
I'm gonna have to keep Miles Turner. I'm thinking of giving up someone like, I don't know, like Obi Toppin and possibly
I'll give up Toppin
Mathurin.
and Hyde.
yeah.
I'll give up Toppin and Buddy.
Mhm.
Okay.
But to give up Turner, that's a lot.
yeah.
Not
To
for Siakam, it's not.
To replace, that's a lot. Turner does a lot in their victories. And him being able to stretch the floor as a 5 is big
Mm,
for Halliburton. He makes it
yes.
easy for Halliburton because their pick and roll is through them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Because if you help out on Halliburton, either Turner's going to slash
Mm,
because he can finish at the rim, or he's going to pop and he's going to shoot it.
yeah.
And he shoots at a high clip from the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you drop and you take Turner and you get Halliburton that space, he'll shoot
We're
it.
gonna lock it down.
Yeah. So you're not letting go of Miles.
I'm keeping Miles Turner. I got to keep him. He's the big man. He's the center, and he's gonna do everything that Queese just said.
So, but if you think about adding Siakam and you get rid, okay, say they pulled it off and you have Siakam, you have Turner and Halliburton. Now you got a problem because
Yeah.
Turner and Siakam sort of play the same position: power forward, center,
No, you put Siakam at the 4, you put Turner at the 5.
and you don't believe none of their stats are impacted by playing on the same team.
The 2 of them?
Yes.
No.
How, Keys? How?
What do you mean?
They're the same player, essentially. I'm gonna say it. They're the same player. The only difference. Go ahead.
No.
Chris, go ahead.
No, I think that someone is going to some scoring is going to drop off for one of them, whether it's Siakam, whether it's Turner or Halliburton. I mean, it's not going to be as fluid anymore with those three. If those 3 were there, I think it wouldn't be. It would be kind of like a clogged up lane. Then they would go from being small to now there's the Bucks.
You got a the problem is what people don't understand is Siakam has never been a player who needed a play call for him. Siakam has never been the player who the offense was built around. Siakam just the type of player who fits in where he fits in.
Mm,
He doesn't have a problem with that. That's why he has stats across the board. Think about it.
Mm.
And he can shoot from the 3. He's not great, but he can shoot it.
mhm.
He also can handle the ball and take some pressure off of Halliburton at points. You know what I mean? When Halliburton goes to the bench. So they
Okay.
got some young players to go along with that. If Siakam want to get his money when Halliburton goes to the bench or Turner goes to the bench, or the vice versa. When he goes to the bench, the other players step up. It would make Indiana more dangerous if you brought him in there.
Mhm.
But I don't see Indiana getting him.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I like Halliburton, but I think that hype is gonna die down in a minute.
You think so?
I think the hype is gonna die down in a minute.
Think he
I
a
like-
one-hit wonder.
Ooh.
I like him,
Yeah.
but I just don't think he as good as everybody making him seem to be.
So you think it's going to catch up with them, and he's going to come up.
Because my only thing is he's not flashy.
True.
He's not lightning quick.
That set shot ain't gonna continue going down for him.
It ain't gonna. And that set shot, he got so slow.
It is though. I'm
At some
surprised he
point-
gets that off. Yeah,
They're gonna figure it out.
yeah,
Sometimes it take them a season or two to figure out a player, and then they just fall off the map.
yeah.
But we shall see if he can continue to do what he do. I commend it, but I just don't see it.
He's better than I thought.
Well,
He's doing better than, like you said,
You
like
know?
Chris said, he's doing better than I expected him to do.
I didn't expect
And I'm just
that.
I don't see it being a longevity thing.
Mm,
I see it being a temporary thing to me.
okay.
he is a thorn in Giannis' side. That's for sure. He gets under Giannis' skin, so he's accomplished that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Siakam. But moving on, the Orlando Magic have announced that they are planning to retire Shaquille O'Neal's jersey.
They should have been did that.
Mm.
Is Shaquille O'Neal deserving of a jersey retirement of the Magic? Chris, go ahead, bro.
Absolutely. So the Magic, the inception of the Magic was at 89. Shaquille came in 92, right? Before Shaq got there, the big attraction was Disneyland or Disney World, my bad. Shaq came, and for those 4 years he was in Orlando, playoff team, or he took them to the finals in 95. All-star.
Bulls.
Beat the Bulls. Yes. Took them to the finals. I think averaging 27 a game, 12 rebounds. Like, he brought all the numbers. He brought the fans out to Orlando. Before he got there, wasn't really, much going on there. Yes, it is right to retire this man's number. Superman should be retired in Orlando. 32.
So here's my take before Keys goes on. I am very selfish when it comes to retirements. Very selfish. We had a debate on this show asking about Ray Allen's retirement in Milwaukee. I said the Bucks owe him nothing. He did nothing for us. He didn't win a title. He had 3-point contests. We almost went to the finals, but we didn't win anything. We won some games. Okay, no one's ever sat down, man. Do you remember that game Ray Allen shot the 3 and took us to the finals to face Philly? But they do say, do you remember when Ray Allen hit the 3 to help Miami Heat win the championship? The Orlando Magic owe Shaquille O'Neal nothing. They should not retire that jersey. However, I see why they are. He's deserving. But if they didn't do it, people shouldn't be upset about it because he left. He left them hanging. Y'all know that's my punchline. I hate when people leave people hanging. He left them hanging. I remember, I ain't going to say it because it's a small world, but I remember someone in the business world left me hanging and came back and thought everything was going to be okay. I'm like, oh, we'll show love. You know what I'm saying? We'll dap up. But no, you left me hanging. I'm not going back. You know what I'm saying? Same with the Orlando Magic. He left them hanging. He went to LA. He saw the bright lights, the bright stars, and he killed in LA. So they retired his number. Miami should do it if they haven't done it. But I don't necessarily think Orlando has to do it because let's not act like we're always talking about teams here. Orlando at the time had one of the best all-around teams in the NBA. They had Nick Anderson, right? They had Anthony Hardaway, right? They had Scott Skiles on his latter years, right? They had Dennis Scott. Man, Orlando had a roster. Shaq did change the game. So from a business standpoint, you'd be a fool for not to retire his jersey because everybody else is going to do it, right? But Orlando owes him nothing.
They do.
Why? Why, Kesey?
Because before Shaq came there, nobody cared about Orlando besides to go to Disney World.
Come on.
Orlando wouldn't even be on your top destination for vacation spots until Shaq came there and became a dominant presence. So therefore, you automatically owe him just off of that in itself. You know how many tickets he sold for your arena? You know how much money he made for that organization? The Orlando Magic jersey right now is a throwback because of Shaq. Otherwise, outside of Shaq, who throwback jersey do you want that played for Orlando?
Anthony Hardaway.
The player that they say never lived up to the hype.
He didn't.
Injury.
He didn't.
Injury.
But he
after
was still
injury.
a baller when he was
Okay,
playing.
He was a baller, right? But Shaq was dominant. He was a force to be reckoned with. He changed the game of basketball because of his size and his abilities.
He's the greatest big man that ever played the game. But do you really think after 4 years he deserves a retirement? After only giving that team 4 years? If Dame Lillard doesn't win a title here and Dame has what, 2 years left on his contract? If Dame doesn't win a title here and he only stays here 2 years, do we retire his jersey?
It's different.
How?
It's different.
How?
Come on, man.
No,
It's-
give me a
it's
reason.
So much
How?
different. For one, how long have the Bucks been around?
Years.
Years. Many years. The Magic were in, they were around for what, 3 years before Shaq came. Nothing was going on. They didn't have anything to go off of.
They were an expansion
Shaq,
team.
Expansion. There you go.
Mhm.
Shaq brought it all. I think you got to. And then on top of that, took them to a title, or took them to a finals. They didn't get the chip, but he took them there. They had a great team. I think you have got to definitely retire that number.
think about it.
Dame, no.
Think
no.
of it like this.
Who's more, before you answer, who's more valuable? Who was more valuable to the Orlando Magic? Dwight Howard or Shaquille O'Neal? Think before you answer. Who was more valuable? Who gave that team more?
Shaq.
Lies.
Shaq.
Lies.
Shaq. Because listen to this.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, jump in.
I was gonna say
That's what we do here. Go ahead.
Okay.
If you hear something stupid, go ahead and jump in.
What more did Dwight do than Shaq did? Because they both took their teams to the
Conference
finals. Didn't they go? Didn't Dwight take them to the finals? And
The
didn't
conference
get-
Lakers.
Yeah.
He went to the conference finals.
He went to
No,
the
they went
NBA
to the-
Finals and lost to the
lost to the
Lakers.
Lakers.
Oh, did he?
He had a
Lost to the
squad too.
Lakers.
Rashard, he had
Rashard Lewis. and them
Lewis.
now.
He had Jameer Nelson. They had a squad too.
Yeah.
I think Shaq. Come on.
Just think of it like this, Dre. Without Shaq, they coming in as an expansion team. They'd already had 3 bad seasons, right? Do you think they still exist right now if Shaq didn't come in and have his presence on that franchise? Because they'd be gone like Seattle is right now.
Yo, Vancouver.
Yeah,
The Grizzlies.
exactly. They be gone like the Grizzlies. They be Vancouver Grizzlies. They be gone, and they be gone like the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah.
Here's
They
why.
be out of here. They would have never even been at the White in Orlando.
Here's why I say that. Shaquille O'Neal. No, don't do that.
Oh,
Don't do that, man.
That's real.
Give me a round of applause on that.
You're my guest, okay? Let's
Pipe down. Chill out.
You know what I'm saying? No. You know, we're gonna give Kesey an applause if we can get the button to work. Listen, Dwight Howard, though, and I'm not, to all the people in America listening, to Chris, to Marquis, to Zeke, to Terrence, to Tone, I am not saying that Dwight is better than Shaq, but Dwight's contributions to Orlando compared to Shaq's were way better.
How many years? How many?
Let me get there. Dwight Howard, while in Orlando, delivered 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. 3 while in Orlando. Okay. Dwight Howard averaged a near triple-double while in Orlando. Nearly every season that he played for the Magic were a playoff team. Nearly every season that he played with that team. The only reason he left was because of his feud with Stan Van Gundy. Now, what I'm saying is if you're going to retire Shaq, you dang sure better retire Dwight Howard because he made the Magic relevant again.
How long was he in Orlando?
He played most of his career until he got older, but he played in Orlando 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8 seasons in Orlando before he was traded around the league.
Okay.
8 seasons in Orlando.
He played 8 seasons.
And they got no championships.
Shaq went 4. They have no championships.
He
No
doubled
conference.
up on Shaq and still did not get a title. He did. He got all those Defensive Player of the Years, or whatever, and didn't. He didn't get a chip. I don't think.
Not with Orlando.
Not with Orlando. No,
Mhm.
not with Orlando.
Mhm.
And then what is the White going now?
That's a different story.
He
You
might
know what
not.
I'm
He
saying?
might not get.
That's a different.
He might not get no retirement. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm being real. He might not get one because of all the stuff that's going on with him.
Listen, I'm going to say this. Orlando, is it a worthy thing that they're doing? Absolutely. Is Shaq the all-time greatest? Yes. But I don't think anyone loses sleep if they don't retire his jersey. Is he worthy? Sure. But I don't think they owe him that.
They do.
I don't. He
kept
left. He became great.
So he was great before he left, but he went and been great somewhere else, and then he went somewhere else and been great again.
He was a record breaker. He was breaking down rims. Yes. So so this is what I'll say. Orlando, retire his jersey because he's a once in a lifetime player, not because of the contributions he gave to the team. Because there were none.
There was.
Besides relevancy, what?
There wouldn't be no Orlando Magic right now.
Okay.
He gave them a chance to extend their life expectancy.
Okay.
Because when most expansion teams come, if you're bad for the first 5 years, 9 times out of 10 they move you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look, how many cities have the Grizzlies been to, bro?
You know what I'm saying?
The only expansion team that has worked, I think, for the past couple of years has been Toronto.
Yeah.
Right. And Vegas will work because it'll have LeBron's money. But you know, I'm not downplaying what Shaq has done for Orlando.
It's take it like this. It's in that same boat like Oklahoma City with KD. Without KD, that team would have lost its franchise without those key players.
Good point.
You get what I'm saying?
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Like Oklahoma City, because Seattle lost out and they became Oklahoma City, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Without KD, Oklahoma City would have been done. They would have been done. They'd have been finished. Without Shaq, Orlando would have been finished. Without Vince Carter,
No Toronto.
no Toronto.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I get
Like, it's certain players who do certain things for a franchise and save them. Shaq saved them.
Mhm.
Well, you know, loyalty means a lot to me. And I just don't think Shaq was loyal. He wasn't loyal to Orlando. Just like Ray Allen wasn't loyal to us. Okay, while you over there talking, just like Carmelo wasn't loyal to the Knicks. Okay? Just like Phil Jackson wasn't loyal to the Knicks. Right? Just no, because you over there on pay-per-view giving your commentary. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the Knicks. The Knicks. How about the Knicks were good?
Oh, the shots are fired.
And Chris is here with this Cleveland Browns hat on. Like, what are you trying to prove wearing that Cleveland Browns hat, man?
See, I was gonna say LeBron loyalty. He gave, he was loyal to the Cavs. He left, went to Miami, did his whole thing, and then came back and got him a title. So Dre, I see what you're saying about Shaq never bringing the title home, but I don't know if LeBron came back, didn't get the Cavs a title. What would we not retire his number? I don't know.
LeBron. I think the difference is LeBron didn't give 4. LeBron
he
gave the
gave way
Cavs
more.
8 seasons.
Facts. And
Dwight did too.
We're not talking about Dwight.
I'm just saying.
He's talking about Shaq.
I know. I'm just saying. You talking about Dwight gave? I'm saying you saying Dwight. What
No,
Dwight?
no, your
Hold on,
said is
let
your
me-
argument is on the wrong scale.
I'm just saying. Think about you saying Dwight did 8 years. LeBron did 8 years, and they were in the finals, 7 of them.
6.
You talking about Dwight did
That's
something in 8
because
years?
right. You know
He
why?
got to the finals one time.
You know why Dwight couldn't get to the finals? Because of the LeBron stopper. The LeBron stopper. But anyway, man, let's get into Bucks talk before we wrap it up. And here's one that I'm really interested in, because we're all hometown guys. Are the Indiana Pacers the Milwaukee Bucks kryptonite? The Pacers are 4-1 versus the Bucks this season, including in-season tournament. If they were the matchup with the Bucks in the playoffs, could they beat them?
Could they beat the Bucks
in
No.
a playoff series?
No.
First, answer the first part of the question. Are the Pacers the Bucks kryptonite? Go ahead, Chris. You said you got a lot to say on this.
All right.
You're our guest. We'll let you go first.
Are they? See, they're the Bucks kryptonite until the Bucks decide that they want to play small, like the Pacers. If they continue wheeling out Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton,
You say will.
because that's how I feel. They play pretty slow and they can't keep up with the Pacers. I think for now, until they do something different. All right, let me go back. I didn't want the Bucks, and this might not be popular opinion, but I did not want the Bucks to re-sign Chris Middleton or Brook Lopez. I think it was time for a change from last year. Yeah, you play a certain way, you end up losing, or no, you gain Dame Lillard, you lose Drew. So you know, we know what happens there. You gain some scoring, but you lose some defense. The big guy, Brook, to me, he just plays slow. He's a good player. He can shoot from the outside. He can defend. I just think they need a change. Chris, he's hurt a lot. And I just think he's slow on defense. But until they do something about that, yeah, the Pacers are their kryptonite. I said what I said, like Dre.
Wait.
Oh my.
Now, see, I usually don't like to agree with our
I
guests
said
when it comes to my Bucks. But when you get to talking about trades that I should have happened a long time ago, and I've been saying this for how many seasons straight now? 3. I've been saying Chris Middleton should have been on the trading block 2 seasons ago and got somebody younger that can do exactly what he do. But is they the Bucks kryptonite? No. I think the Bucks are allowing them to do what they want to do, just so when playoff time come, they can't figure them out.
It's a strategy
because it's almost inevitable you're gonna have to see them some point in the playoffs.
True.
And playoff Giannis is different from regular season Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Playoff Chris is different from regular season Chris. And we all know Big Shot Dame is going to step up to another level when the playoffs come. So I think the Bucks are kind of like testing things out when it comes to Indiana because they feel like they in an area right now where they can do that. And it might, because we do have problems with younger teams. And we can go younger if we really needed to, but the Bucks like to stick with what they stick with until they really have to.
That's real.
But like you said, this season, if we don't win, if Chris is on that roster next year,
Yeah.
it is going to be a big problem for the Bucks.
Yeah.
And they won't be able to get rid of him then.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this because y'all know me. I am probably the most objective Bucks fan that y'all probably know. A long time season ticket holder. When they're playing great, I say they're playing great. When they're playing trashy, I say they're playing trashy. The Milwaukee Bucks.
We know you are a season ticket holder. You said it on every episode.
What are you saying? As long as y'all know. As long as y'all know. As long as y'all know who the real poster child is. So the point is, are they the kryptonite? Absolutely. Absolutely. We did not take the Miami Heat serious last year. Look what happened. The year before that, I'm not going to count that because it was Boston. The year before that, we swept Miami. The year before that, we didn't take Miami Heat, and they beat us. The Milwaukee Bucks have to absolutely take the Indiana Pacers series. So your theory is that this is all a plan is stupid. You should not have said that. That was not one of your best lines. Okay?
I said it was a theory.
It's a terrible one. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to take it back.
I didn't say that it was 100%. That's what they
I'm
were doing.
I'm
just hoping that's what they're doing.
Well, thank you for saying hoping because that was because Giannis was offended. He was offended how Halliburton was laughing at them on their home court. He was offended how Halliburton posterized him multiple times. The Bucks as an organization are starting to even question the equipment manager's role in all these losing games. Giannis said it starts with the equipment manager. Maybe he's not washing our clothes well enough. Now, obviously, that's
shut up. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Obviously, that's probably sarcasm. But the Milwaukee Bucks better not sleep on the Indiana Pacers because they're showing that they can't beat them. Okay, it is what it is. I didn't do it. The records did. Okay, right now, as it stands, the Milwaukee Bucks cannot beat the Indiana Pacers. And here's what I see. It's a matchup problem. It's a matchup problem, right? You put Halliburton on Giannis, fine. But Miles Turner, Brook can't keep up with him. Right? You know what I'm saying? The Indiana Pacers.
Actually, he can. Miles Turner is not really that. I'm telling you, the problem is that young dude they got. I can never think of his name.
Benedict.
Yep.
Benedict Mathurin.
Mathurin.
Yeah.
Benedict Mathurin.
He nice.
He is a problem for the
Yeah.
Bucks. I don't know what it is when he plays the Bucks. He is a matchup problem.
Mhm.
Because if you go small, he outpowers the smalls. If you go big, he's quicker than the bigs.
Mhm.
So he's the problem in our matchup, along with Halliburton having good games at the same time. It's rough,
Mhm.
and it's like they want to beat the Bucks.
Yeah,
They want to
just
play.
bring it.
Everybody
Yeah.
want to play their hardest against the Bucks.
That's it.
When you play Giannis, you want to play your hardest. When you play LeBron, you want to play your hardest. When you play KD, you're going to play your hardest.
Yeah.
These young
But
teams-
in a
Yeah.
series,
Yeah.
that's a lot different, a lot tougher because the game slows down. And that goes for everybody. That run and gun doesn't happen in the playoffs like that, like Indiana's doing and beating us during the regular season.
All I'm saying is we're a worse off defensive team.
Yes.
We don't have we score. Yes, we score, but we're letting the Pacers put up 140 points, 130 points, while Dame scores 13 and Giannis gets a double-double, and Chris Middleton maybe shows up to work. If this happens in the playoff, in your words, adopted from Shaq, the Milwaukee Bucks are barbecue chicken. The Indiana Pacers are not a team right now. I'm not saying that it can't get better, but we should be very concerned about a matchup against the Indiana Pacers in the playoffs. The Bucks are losing. Did we lose to the Spurs or did we actually steal that one? We beat the Spurs. We lost to the god-awful Houston Rockets last night. The Houston Rockets. So hold up.
Sometimes the cradle rock that way, man.
It'll rock, and it's rocked 4 times for the Pacers. Okay. And if we get in the playoffs and we have to match up with those Indiana Pacers, it might not be the outcome we're hoping for.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Now we have hold up. We got half a season to fix it, Keys.
Okay.
We got half a season.
I get you. But don't knock the Pacers and their ability to score because they ain't only put up numbers on us. They put up 150 on the Hawks, 140 on us, 140 on the
Okay,
Knicks.
wait. Go back. The Hawks don't have Giannis, don't have Dame. Next. Come on.
They put up 140 on the Knicks.
Okay. Who also just did a ridiculous dumb trade. We didn't put that on the docket, but what were the Knicks thinking trading their talent for? I don't even know who they got, but talk about rebuild, but that wasn't smart at all.
144 on the Hornets.
Without a little man.
130.
Little man with the fine Instagram chick. LaMelo Ball. Yeah. God's still working on me. I'm still
130 on the Clippers.
Okay.
100.
So you're proving my point. You're proving my point because if Giannis doesn't show up and Middleton has an off night or Dame has an off night, you know they good for an off night every 3 or 4 games or so.
Yep.
In the NBA playoffs, if the Bucks don't fix the woes that they're struggling with, whatever that is, the Indiana Pacers will mess around and eliminate the Bucks from the playoffs. They are absolutely
They
our
put
kryptonite.
144 up on the Heat too this season.
They are absolutely our kryptonite. So I take back what I said at the beginning of the season. I said, and I'm sure my boy Zeke has a voice memo somewhere. I said no one was afraid of the Indiana Pacers. No one's going to take them serious. And now I stand corrected.
Didn't I say that about the in-season?
You did. You were the only one at the table. No, I think you and I agreed that no one is going to take them serious. I think Zeke was the one that was like, what? Y'all crazy.
No, I said that.
Go back and listen, Keith. You know, if you said it, I would tell you said it. You agree with me.
I said Indiana and the Lakers, remember?
In the finals?
No, I said Indiana and
Boston.
the Lakers, and I said the Lakers would have lost to what you call it. Who did they play?
I don't remember, but we both were on the same train.
I didn't say the
Pacers.
Bucks. I knew the Bucks wouldn't win in the in-season tournament.
No. We were both. You did. You picked Indiana and Sacramento.
Yes,
You
Indiana.
picked Indiana
I said those two
Sacramento.
young teams you're gonna have to watch out for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I said.
Yeah. So here's another controversial one, and we'll wrap up in a few with this. Is this Milwaukee Bucks team a team we trust to win a title in 2024? Chris.
From what I've been watching, no. I mean, I know we still have.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we still have some time. Like, it's still some time. All right. Let me let me put no asterisk because there's still a lot of time left for them to get it together. But I don't see the Bucks playing defense. I don't know what it is, but the defense is just not there. And yeah, we can all, blame it on Drew being gone, but they're not showing up on defense. And then have you all seen, like, Dre, you just kind of mentioned it, but they go in these laws where they miss shots. Like, it even happened in the in-season tournament against the Pacers. They start missing shots, and, you can't get a bucket. Giannis will go and do his Euro step and then, miss it off the backboard. The team, the opponent to get it, go down, score. They'll come back. Chris will miss a three. They'll get a rebound, pass it out to Connaughton. He'll miss a three. Like, they'll go through these laws where they cannot get a bucket at all. So I don't know right now. I don't know if I trust them to win another title this year. Right now. Now, again, they can get it together. I don't know if they're looking to, make a trade or anything, bring someone in here that can knock down some shots. They got Dame, yeah, but right now, asterisk, no, I don't trust them to win it. Asterisk.
Kesey, what do you think? Do we trust this team to win a title in 2024?
I trust them. And the only reason I say that is because even with our record that we have, we still number 2 in the West. I'm saying, like, even with our record, we would still be number 2 in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Either way it go, we'd be number 2 in the East or number 2 in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Bucks are number 1, is when we flop in the playoffs. Because the first time was Boston, and the second time was Miami. We were number 1. We don't need to be number 1. We need to lose some games to humble us a little bit before the playoffs come.
So there's some arrogance there in the Bucks, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
The arrogance of, like, you think, like, every game you're going to come out and shoot that many damn threes and win games. It's not going to be that all the time. So the Bucks got to figure out a way. Well, they know how to do it. They just don't do it often enough.
Yeah. And Adrian Griffin has to coach.
Yeah.
Adrian Griffin has to do better.
He has to put his foot down and tell them stop shooting all those threes, because that is the biggest issue with the Bucks when they lose. They shoot horrible from the 3 and they lose.
And that is not how to win games. The Bucks are shooting 30 to 43s a game. Yeah. We were at a game.
I was just going to say, think about that game we was at, and they were shooting 12% from
12% from, and they kept shooting. No one took the ball in. No one went in for the layups. No one took the twos. They kept shooting. For the Milwaukee Bucks, what I'm going to say is I absolutely think I've already spoken on the Pacers being the kryptonite. They are absolutely the kryptonite. Tony, you can come on over. We're about to wrap up. They are absolutely the kryptonite. Adrian Griffin needs to coach better. So this is not just on the players. Okay, Adrian Griffin has to coach better. I don't see a coach. I see an apprentice out there that's struggling to gain the attention of his team, that's struggling to gain the attention of the talent that he's coaching. Bobby Portis is going off on him in the locker room. Players on the bench are not even respecting the calls that he's making. So Adrian Griffin needs to figure out what the heck the Bucks need to do. The general manager, Brian Windhorst, whoever our GM is, he needs to say, okay, this rotation, this Dame experience, as great as it is, we need another piece here. We got to have a shooter. Brook Lopez, I like Brook, but I do start to see the windedness. I'm starting to see it now. Brook is a killer on defense, a killer. But the offense is the issue. But the defense, we were ranked right before the Christmas break, like 21 or 22 in defensive efficiency. That is god-awful for a team to try to win a championship. So do I see the Bucks in the 2024 title right now picture? Absolutely not, because the Bucks can barely beat the Pistons. They certainly can barely beat the Boston Celtics. And the Eastern Conference has changed dramatically. It's a changing of the guard. I want my Bucks to win. I am a hardcore Bucks fan. I will get on this podcast and say, yes, I will pick the Bucks to win it all. Double injury. Jesus, man. Yeah.
Where's that
You know what I'm
link?
saying? And so I will say that, but the Milwaukee Bucks, it starts with the coaching. It starts with the coaching. So before we wrap up, man, we have a guest here, Chris. Me and Kesey just gonna throw out some random basketball questions. One answer, that's all you got to do. We'll throw out some questions. You just give us an answer.
Okay.
All-time favorite NBA player.
All-time favorite NBA player. I'm gonna have to take it to New York. Allen Houston. He's a shooter. Allen Houston. I'm
Wow.
and a lot of people are like, who? Pistons. He
You
played
know
for the
him?
Pistons. Yeah, Tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I used to be a shooter, and I just love just the way he just, he can shoot.
Most overrated player in the NBA.
Right now,
Right
or
now.
ever? Right now, most overrated player. Who? I don't know. I will probably have to say
Halliburton.
Halliburton. You know what? Dang, that's a great question. I might have to go with Halliburton.
Okay. Current MVP.
Current MVP right now.
Yes.
Let's give it. I don't want to say. Let's give it to Luka.
Wow.
Let's give it to Luka.
Wow.
He's got them kind of there.
Wow. Right.
I don't know.
NBA Finals prediction.
NBA Finals prediction
Today.
today, right now. I'm gonna have to go West. Denver Nuggets.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to say they're gonna get back in, and the Celtics and the Nuggets.
Who you got?
But I'm hoping that the Bucks can get it together and be there.
Who you got winning it? Winning it all.
Winning it all, I'm gonna say Denver again.
Okay. Give us your all-time starting five. Shooting guard.
Shooting guard, all time. Shooting guard, you got to go with Michael Jordan.
Point guard.
Point guard, Steph.
Hey.
Small
I
forward.
gotta go with Steph.
Hey.
Small forward.
Small forward. Ooh. I might have to take it, but no, I can't go with him. Small forward. Was Kevin Durant a small forward? Or was he power?
He can play both. He
Not-
can play both.
Not Kevin Durant. Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett was power.
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 All right, I'll go with Durant as small forward.
Okay. Power.
Power forward. I might have to go. Dang, y'all getting me. Let's go with Kevin Garnett.
Okay. Center.
Shaq.
Okay. Top three of all time.
Top three.
Top three of all time
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
as number one.
number one.
Okay.
Michael Jordan,
Okay.
Kobe Bryant.
Okay. 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Yep.
Shaquille O'Neal.
5. This is great.
Oh,
This is very interesting.
Oscar Robertson.
6.
What is going on?
This is 6.
Wait. 6.
Uh-huh.
6 of all time.
Yes.
Giannis.
7.
He know what he's doing.
I know.
He baiting you
So-
in.
so
He
I'm
baiting-
not baiting.
He baiting you in
I'm
to
not
see
baiting.
how, he
So
baiting
we're
you
gonna
in to
wrap
see
it up.
how far down LeBron is
We're
on
gonna
your
wrap.
list.
Is LeBron in your top 10?
He's in my top 10.
Okay, but he's not in his top 7. And on that note, this has been another episode of the 94 Feet Podcast.
Oh no, you ain't. I
I'd
got.
like to thank my brother.
I got one for you.
I'm not good with
James Harden or Dwayne Wade.
James Harden or Dwayne Wade. Come on, D-Wade. D-Wade. D-Wade.
He took James Harden over Dwayne Wade.
Really?
Not me.
Oh.
Our big brother.
Okay.
Zeke. So listen, man. Well, Chris, thanks for being with us today, man. It was a blast having you with us, man.
Thanks,
This has been
y'all,
another
bro.
episode of the 94 Feet Podcast. I'd like to thank my brother Keith,
It was another good one. Appreciate our guest here today, man. Appreciate
my
you,
main man Chris in the building, killing it.
Fellas, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. I had a blast. I had so much fun. This is dope. Let's go.
Yeah. You can listen to us on all streaming platforms, wherever you can download your favorite podcast. My preferred is Apple. Kesey being an Android man and all. It could be Spreakers. It could be Amazon. It could be any one of them other garbage ones. Sorry,
Or it
Android.
can be in my car.
Sorry,
Either way
Android
it go.
users. I'm sorry. Let me stop doing that. You can listen to us pretty much on any podcast network, including our iHeartRadio. We're also on iHeart Podcast now too. We're on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and at 94 Feet Podcast. Agree with us?
Probably not.
This has been the 94 Feet Podcast.